The web console will likely be your first point of interaction with AWS, since you'll need to sign up for the service and configure your account. After logging in, you'll be dumped on a page with around 50 different services to choose from. You may notice some from the previous modules like Elastic Beanstalk or DynamoDB, but it's obvious that there are a lot of services that we weren't able to cover. That's okay. In my job as a web developer, I really use less than 10 of these services, and you can see that some are specifically targeted for gaming, mobile, or IoT. Don't let this screen overwhelm you. We're going to break it down now. The console has organized all the services into similar groups to build a taxonomy. In the top left is the compute category, including services like EC2 and Elastic Beanstalk. This category is where you'll find services for running your application on a virtual machine. The other services on offer here provide similar functionality. Below that is the storage and content delivery category. You can see S3 and CloudFront are here, so I'm sure you can imagine this category is about storing and serving files. Next is the database category with RDS, DynamoDB, and Redshift on offer. The last category in this first column is the networking category, with Route 53 and VPC. The developer tools category has services that relate to code development, such as a cloud-based source repository with code commit. Management tools contains CloudWatch, but also other tools for automatically creating resources like CloudFormation and OpsWorks. The last category I'll talk about is the security and identity category, which has services like IAM for AWS User Management and the Certificate Manager for SSL certificates. The console menu bar at the top has a few tricks up its sleeve to navigate AWS quickly. The AWS dropdown allows you to quickly jump to view any resource groups you've created. Resource groups are a convenient way to group your resources according to their function. For instance, if you have an application that uses EC2 instances, an Elastic Beanstalk application, S3 buckets, and a load balancer, you would have to click through multiple screens to view the health of all of those resources. With resource groups, you are able to view them all on the same screen and easily hyperlink to the exact instances relevant to your application. It's a nice little convenience that AWS makes available. Next to the AWS dropdown is the services dropdown, which basically houses the same services we saw on the front page, but in alphabetical order. Next to the service dropdown is any custom service menu links. You can drag services to the menu bar to make it even easier to get services that you frequent. As you can see, Amazon gives you many ways to access services depending on your preference. You're going to be spending a lot of time in here, so it's worth building some resource groups and moving some favorites to the menu bar to save you time. We've already discussed regions many times in this course. It's important that you consider which region you're launching your resources into, because many resources are not visible to others across regions. To select your region, you'll find a drop-down in the top right corner. Select the region where you want to launch resources first before creating the resource in the console. And regions also decide pricing, so make sure to take that into account. Billing is an important part of AWS for most of us, so let's take a look at that section. Clicking on your name in the top right corner will open a drop-down with some account administration options. Clicking on Billing will take you to the Billing dashboard, which will show you a snapshot of the current month's charges and projected charges. On the right side of the dashboard, it will show you the services where you're getting charged. I really love that Amazon has done this. In the process of building this course, I've played around creating stuff for demo purposes and racked up a few charges that I was unaware of. I got an email a few days ago from a CloudWatch billing alert I had set up when I created my account and was able to easily identify from this billing dashboard that I had forgotten to terminate an Elastic Beanstalk application after spinning it up for some screenshots. Whoops. Clicking on your name again and then security credentials will take you to the IAM service dashboard, where you can manage user credentials, keys, groups, and roles for yourself and anyone else on the same account. You can enable multi-factor authentication here, which is highly recommended. Create access keys for CLI or SDK access and other activities. If you work on a team with multiple members accessing the same AWS account, The Users section is where you'll give your teammates user accounts. You can then add them to groups to easily assign roles, giving them permissions to certain services on the account. We don't have enough time to go through every service in the Web Console, but I thought we might at least look at the EC2 dashboard. The dashboard first shows you what running resources you have that are relevant to EC2, such as instances, elastic block storage volumes, load balancers, and security groups. If you look a little further down, you will see a quick snapshot of region and availability zone health statuses. This region will match the region you have selected in the top right of the menu bar. On the left side of the dashboard are many links to EC2 related services, such as instances, AMIs, security groups, load balancers, and autoscaling groups. All of these services and categories specifically relate to EC2, and it's nice that they're organized in this way. Clicking the big blue Launch Instance button will take you through the launch wizard for an EC2 instance. In our clip where we covered EC2, I showed you most of the rest of the process for this. Each service dashboard is going to be different, so it's a good idea to look around the service page for any AWS services that you're interested in.